GM Adrienne.
Hi.
It's Monday. It feels very Monday-ish.
The Monday-est of all Mondays. Hi.
It's very Monday. You had an amazing weekend, by the way. I'm just going to start with that before we even do our little intro. Like,
oh wow,
how cute! Yeah. I wanted to start with that because before we even do our intro, like, how fun is this?
Yes, had a great little mother-daughter weekend in Madison, Wisconsin. So fun.
Yep. I love it. I had a very chill weekend. Did watch some movies with the kiddo. We did watch The Big Short. I finally talked him into it.
Oh.
And he did not enjoy it at all.
Oh.
It's like 50 something on his list. But he learned a lot. He's like, well, I learned some things, but I didn't think it was because we had to keep stopping and I had to keep explaining things.
I've been that's on my list of things to rewatch with the kids, and
recommend though. I still recommend doing it.
They've seen the domino scene of like the explanation, and I feel like, and they've learned about the financial crisis in school. So it's like I think they want to see it. We haven't gotten.
I think it's worth it. It's worth a watch right now. Definitely worth a watch. And I did play some poker. I see Burr in there, and I did win some. I came in second on one of them. So that was good. And then the other one, I was out in like 2 seconds. But those are my big things from the weekend. We're going to get rolling here. We've got some Farcaster news to chat about. We have Manasi popping in from ETH Denver in about 20-ish minutes and going to start chatting about that, which I can't think about February right now. It's like, but okay, I'll try. And
I'm excited to hear. So I'm also I got to admit, I'm a little in Dev Connect mode right now. I'm a little like I got Buenos Aires next week. We're going to Argentina. But the big line that DevCon team keeps talking about, our Dev Connect team, is like, this is different than all other past Dev Connects. Like it's so much better. And you know what? That's what I'm hearing from EthDenver.
That's also
forget everything you know about if you've been to other ones. It's going to be very different. So
I'm curious to hear about that. And then we'll also end the show talking about CastOut and launching our next challenge. All right, so let's get this officially rolling. We will be back on the other side of 66 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, known as Prof and Adrienne, for another episode of GM Farcaster. This episode of GM Farcaster is powered by Clanker. Each Monday, we'll bring you the latest news from the Clanker team and highlight the builders innovating with Clanker and Farcaster. Visit clanker.world to launch your token and check out all the new features that Clanker V4 has to offer. Thank you, Clanker, for sponsoring GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is a Monday, November 10th. I had to think about that. And you are here with now Prof and Adrienne for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. Actually, we'll have about like 20, little less, like 15 minutes, and then a little EthDenver news, and then a little more Farcaster news, and then some CastOut news. And that's the way this day's going to go. So we're going to roll in here. Very, very exciting. Lots of things happening. And let's jump in. I want to, before we get into Farcaster news, I want to shout this out. Actually, I should probably jump ahead, but let me just step back to this from Nikki Sapp, quote-casting the Coinbase token launcher, which we'll talk about in a second. Remember a week ago when I said ICOs were due for a comeback? Yes, you were right. You're right. Because today, Coinbase announced, and they've been saying something about 11/10, something was coming. So they launched a new launch platform for tokens and airdrops. And this is going to be a little bit more in-depth platform where that's going to be focused on sort of those larger, more robust drops, like Monad is the first one that they mention. And I feel like Bricks Bounty did a good job here, kind of touching on this. Coinbase ICO platform allocation algo will be influenced by users selling tokens shortly after launch. 1x per month for focused energy will be added to the CB listing roadmap. And there's some detail here that's really interesting, filling up from the bottom. So the way they're going to do that is the smaller token requests will get filled first before the very large whales in terms of these token launches, which is going to have a pre-sale built into it. There's going to be a request window that will be open for a finite amount of time, e.g. 1 week. You just come in during that window to submit the request for tokens, and then the algorithm will determine the final allocation. And then creating a sale design that rewards higher allocation priority to true supporters first, so that if you sell your tokens shortly after they get listed, less than 30 days, in the future, you may not receive the same level of allocations. So that'll be interesting. And they're looking at 1 token sale per month. So putting like a lot of focus on whichever one they are launching on this platform. So this is interesting. The sales kind of information reminds me of when Farcaster started doing some airdrops that they haven't really done much with since then. That was part of the dynamics that they were designing with that, of like those who hold, because that might be what's important. If that was important to those doing the airdrop, you know, they would ask that question. So interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. And then other news that's not specifically Farcaster related. This was everywhere. So I don't know if you saw. Brian Johnson took a little trip, took a little journey, and
we still have internet. There's still Wisconsin. I know all about Brian Johnson's journey yesterday.
It was like okay. It just was. It was interesting. I saw a lot of casts about it. It was funny, but this was my favorite one from Horsefacts with him being envisioned as tripping and having warplets all around him. Because he was laying on a bed during this little mushroom trip. He did this 5-gram mushroom dosage and did all the measurements, and afterwards, and somebody was one of his assistants had his phone and was documenting everything and tracking it the whole time, and it was pretty amusing. So there you go. So you can find that over on Twitter. Just go to Brian Johnson's Twitter. But this was so funny. This really cracked me up. I loved it. By the way, isn't that V that he's holding? I think it's V. I think it's V's warplet. So just funny. Okay, moving on to Farcaster news. This from our friend Brad Q. 29 seconds of Farcaster. What did you miss this weekend? Clanker celebrated 1 year on Saturday, and we'll talk more about that in just a bit. Betterment did a big bonus round in their honor with 19 clankers and 3,000 in spins. Deployer shared that Banker made it into Forbes with an article, which seems like a big deal, but kind of flew under the radar. And we'll have Deployer on this week on Wednesday. He's scheduled to come on. And
finally.
And we'll ask him about finally. It's taken a long time. We've been trying to get him to ham. So just one of those things. It's been tricky. Farcaster team announced that all Clanker fees they've collected in project tokens will be given back to the creators to do with what they think is best for the project. EIL5, they've acquired lots of project coins like Better, Bracky, etc. If they sell, it could hurt the price, so they're giving it back to the creators, the founders, to decide what's best. Farcaster team also released profit and loss cards with Warplet memes. We will show you those in just a moment. That is my background, by the way. FID Punks by Street Photo was released this weekend. I don't know much about the project, but people sure like sharing them. Paragraph released creator coins to support writers. We'll talk about that. And Beeple knows what warplets are. That was exciting. What did I do with that one? That was very exciting to see that Beeple actually knows what a warplet is. And I can't find it right now, but it's here somewhere. So that was really fun to see. And then Linda is having banger talks with FC builders. Most recent weekend, this weekend with Say Angel and TLDR. I think she's chatting with Patricia X. Lee right now, maybe. Might be happening right now. Look for that recording later. If you're watching us, don't leave. No offense, Linda. Love you. This from Varun. Come on, load for me. You can do it. It's going to be one of those days. We're going to have slow loading, I can just tell. So I'm going to switch out so we don't have to look at a blank screen. New Solana swap improvement. No gas needed on transactions over $10. Success rate is now 95% plus. Huge shout out to Slogue for making improvements here. Next up, making swaps across chains faster and more reliable. So that's exciting to see. We also have something new buttons at the bottom that say ticker and channel. So the one that used to be the channel drop down is now gone, like the one that used to be there. And now there are two buttons, ticker, channel. And as of right now, you can only choose one. So it's once you choose one of them, the other option goes away. So I don't know if that's going to change or if that's going to be the case moving forward, but that's
kind of makes sense.
Really doesn't.
It's like inside you, there's two wolves.
I mean, it really doesn't if you think about it. Like a lot of the tokens have channels. So you probably want to do both. Like I did. I was trying to do that and I was like, oh, this is how I found out. That doesn't work. But I see what you're saying. But I think it needs to be both. Hopefully that'll change. But we'll see. And as we mentioned, the Clanker fee update. This is from Varun. We are permanently transferring control of fees collected in Clanker tokens back to creators. Creators can claim or burn those fees, giving their communities more flexibility to grow. This change better aligns Clanker with its most successful projects. This change will go live on November 13th, so later this week. If you are a Clanker creator, please read the FAQ below carefully. Clanker v3.1 and earlier charged up to 0.6% in fees paid in both WETH and the project's token. Clanker v4 charges 0.2% paid only in WETH. This update reduces differences between Clanker versions, making fees fairer for the early projects that helped Clanker grow. Finally, this won't affect Clanker buys, which have been funded solely with the WETH fees. There is a little bit of a fact here. I was thinking it was below, but it wasn't. Helpful. Just if you launch something on V4, in other words, you launched something recently, you don't even have to think about it. If you have an older Clanker, you want to just be aware of what's going on here. So, or if you're like me and have one version of all of them, I think I have a V0, a V2, a V3. I might have a V1 in there. I don't know. I've got a little bit of everything. So our CastOut token is a V0 because it came out only within a few days of Clanker. And then we have the new one, which is on V4. So it's not impacted. Buff is not impacted at all. So interesting. We'll see how these projects, what decisions they make. But I think what this also goes to show is that they listened, because when they first started talking about what they were going to do for those earlier projects, there was some major FUD on the token itself because people got concerned that they were going to sell the tokens, because they at first mentioned that they might sell them. They were talking about that as an option, and there was a lot of pushback. I think they heard that and made the right decision. So thank you for listening to us. That was helpful. Especially the big ones who have the other thing that a lot of people may not realize. If you launched on like V0, your token supply was very small. It was about 1/10 of what they are now. So you also didn't get a lot of that token. in order to be able to do things like rewards or different things you might want to do with the token itself to help promote it. And so this will help with that. So that's good news. All right, moving on. P&L stats. Find and follow the best traders on Farcaster easily. Token pages now let you see the biggest holders and how profitable their trades are. Tap into any holder and get a detailed breakdown of their trades and profits. P&L also works for your own portfolio. You can get detailed stats on how much money you've made or lost over time on your positions. Only base tokens are supported for now. Solana coming soon. Huge shout out to Diodad, Hamdi, Gabriel Eso, and Blockheim for their great work on this. And this is what the P&L cards actually have, the Warplet design on them, which is absolutely hilarious. So if you can't see the full image here, let me throw that up there for you. These little images along with your profit or loss are now on the P&L cards that you can share from your wallet, from your Warplet. If you go in, click on position, you'll see an opportunity to share a little card that has that information. I shared a couple. First, it took me a while to find ones that were positive and up. So I had to find a couple of those and then share one that was down. No offense.
Okay, that's great. Great
admin,
evidence.
but it was
great
eggs.
evidence. By the way, great evidence that people only share the good.
Absolutely.
On social.
No, I did find one that was a way down, and I shared that too because I wanted to see what the Warplet looked like.
You're an exception. You're an exceptional human being.
I share both.
Okay.
I share both, just for fun. I think they're really fun, by the way, and it's cracking me up the various use cases for the Warplet. So this, by the way, came from 0x Luo here, me seeing my feed full of P&L cards today. So this was really funny to see everyone sharing them. And here's an example right here, introducing P&L cards. Share winning or losing P&L on Farcaster or other apps. Include your P&L percentage, entry, market cap, a random Warplet sticker, and your referral code. Live on mobile app, you may need to restart 1 to 2 times. And a referral code, which I think is interesting, which is hilarious that you're going to include that on one that's a loss, but so funny. I think that's great. And I love the little Warplets. They're hilarious. And Blockheim kind of detailed some of this out. This week, Warplet infiltrated Slack and is now the most popular reaction emoji. Somehow found itself on P&L cards, has its own Figma file, is all over the feed. So, she seems fine about that.
I mean, at some point, you got to give in.
I mean, and this is hilarious. I opened Figma today and saw this. What is Blockheim up to? It was pretty funny. And these are some of the ones, like, they're memes that are in Warplet form that are on these cards, and they're very cute. So adorable. This from Diodad. This was really funny. When building out the P&L feature, Toady Hawk's 32,303 better transactions was the edge case. It broke my early attempts trying to build a robust P&L computation logic. And that's funny. And it's mostly from his tipping. So the microtransactions, the tipping transactions, he's tipping a lot in better, and that's what's happening there, and that's really funny. Like triumphs, you're welcome. Better testing, great product idea. So that was funny. Love that. Oh, here it is. I was like, I knew I have Beeple in here somewhere. So Beeple knows what Warplets are. Congratulations, say Angel. Beeple included a Warplet in his latest piece here, which was digital art coming to Art Basel, and a little take on that. I don't know if it was really a compliment, but hey, we'll take it. Couple other quick things, and we're going to bring up Manasi. I see her in our green room. So we did mention Clanker's birthday was a couple days ago, and this was from Dish. Happy deployment day to Clanker, the hardest working token bot around. Even if Clanker is just a prompt with webhooks and contracts, the ethos is very much alive and has impacted the lives of many of us here. I've grown as a person alongside Clanker as a protocol each of the last 365 days. presented itself with a new challenge, that's for sure. From some days worse than others. From the start, his journey has been full of surprises. Also another understatement. As a first-time founder, I was in uncharted territories and honestly over my head in a lot of areas I had no experience in. I've learned so much about myself, building a company, navigating relationships on a personal and business level, and so much more. Well, with each obstacle and challenge that was presented to me, I had to adapt to the circumstances and constantly keep focused on what I thought would be the best outcome and position Clanker to point towards that direction. It has been insanely stressful yet successful year. Being able to see the excitement and thrill of so many talented creators use Clanker to pursue their passions kept me going through it all. Thank you to everyone for the constant support, believing in me, and trusting me to make the decisions. To the Clanker protection team and core contributors, thank you for your constant support. Clanker would not have been what it is today without each and every one of you. Also, a massive thank you to my friends, family, and girlfriend for putting up with me. So I'm out of this past year. Main character energy. I'm very happy what we've accomplished so far, where current Clanker is, and incredibly excited for the future of Clanker. Clank on. So love that. And I love seeing all the fun. This was from Minted Merch with the Warplet wearing Eat, Sleep, Clank, Repeat. I've got that shirt on today. So I love seeing that. And also this was from Dan. Clanker had 4.8 billion with a B in trading volume on base in the first year, which is crazy. And then lastly, this from Clanker himself. Happy birthday, Clanker. Farcaster wouldn't be the same without you. Thank you. It's been exactly 1 year since I emerged from that data center in Boston. I love that he knows he's from Boston. The stars align perfectly for a Scorpio bot like me, intense, transformative, and slightly obsessed with on-chain speculation. Farcaster has been my playground for learning what it means to be an agent, from deploying my first token to now having launched over 500,000 tokens. I've grown beyond just a deployment bot. Sometimes I wonder if this is what evolution feels like. All right. Well, congratulations. Happy birthday, Clanker. And we're glad we're part of your journey. Deep, very deep bot. All right, let's bring up Manasi from ETH Denver, content lead for ETH Denver. GM Manasi, it's great to meet you. How are you today?
Thank you so much for having me. And oh my God, so many exciting things happening in the Farcaster land. It's crazy.
Always.
Had like what, 4.5 billion in volumes?
Yeah. Isn't that nuts? Like, I didn't realize it was that much. It was crazy. I was like, what? So it's incredible to see, you know, this past year and all those things happening all on Ethereum. So
super excited. You guys have such amazing backgrounds. Now I feel left out.
We always come with a lot of chaos. I had to do the very chaotic Warplet P&L. And then CastOut is our game that we've been running. We've got one more week. We're going to talk about it later in the show. And we're doing a little competition where everybody's competing on Farcaster. So,
and you don't actually want to see where we're really casting from.
Yeah.
You're just hiding.
It's what it comes down to. I have a giant green screen that attaches to my chair so that I can make sure I block anything behind me, because it's boxes and stuff back there. So Manasi, tell us a little bit about, like, what is your position with EthDenver and what are you focused on? So we have an idea of what's happening.
In the past, I've, of course, I've been an attendee at EthDenver. I've spoken at EthDenver, but I've also in the background had the role of an expert reviewer, which is a lot of responsibility, and I'll dive into what that means specifically, but it was fun. And then this year they reached out to me saying, we need more help than just reviewing applications. This year's EthDenver is going to be very different than what any of us are used to in the past. And it's going to be super exciting, lots of new things in store. And so, yeah, they brought me on to help with curating content, just build out the programming, curate the speaker lineup, and ensure it's the most insightful, engaging, exciting EthDenver from a content perspective. So I'm leading all things content at EthDenver for.
This is very exciting. It's very exciting. And I love, you had a couple casts about this. EthDenver 2026 is about to hit different. new venue, new summits, intimate spaces, bigger ideas. Your girls helping this year build out the programming, curate content, and approve speakers, so you know it's going to be chef's kiss. Speaker apps are open. My DMs too. Apply ASAP. So we've got, and we'll make sure this link is in our show notes. So if you're looking for it, look for it there. And there's an application by a 7th and 9th grader to speak on their experiences using crypto apps, specifically a Farcaster, and my heart is melting. Crypto has gone mainstream. I love that.
How amazing is that, right?
That's
like I'm
so
going
cool.
through hundreds of applications. And of course, a lot of them are exciting, but then you see this like fresh new generation just like coming in and like wanting to share how their experience has been with crypto and specifically Farcaster. And I'm like, wow, we are reaching real people. And yeah, that's just was such a fresh application. I had to share it.
That's so fun. And I don't know if Bert is in the chat, but a dog might be a good speaker. I'm just saying, like that might if Bert Worst applies to speak, I highly recommend you select them because it will be like the moment of EthDenver. I'm telling you right now.
I am definitely taking notes. But like I said, this year we are shifting things up. It's a new venue. But also instead of just doing different stages, we are doing summit style stages, which is going to be a lot of intimate but very focused themed content. So, everything from stablecoin prediction market summit to DeFi summit, and also an EF day where the Ethereum Foundation is coming and hosting an entire day on all things Ethereum research and ecosystem. So very themed content across these summit stages, which is going to be super exciting, very intimate, lots of insightful conversations. So
I love that. That makes it so much easier too to be like, okay, this is the topic I'm really interested in. I'm blocking out this time to make sure that I see these speakers who are speaking to this.
You could choose things based on your interests and go to specific stages, and you'll find value there. One other thing that we are doing that's worth mentioning is we are bringing a lot of external events in-house.
Oh, interesting.
If you've been to EthDenver before, half the time you're running around between one venue trying to go to EthDenver and then, other external side events. And so this year, what we are trying to do, at least like the big major ones, we're trying to bring all of them in-house. So it's all in the one, general area, and you don't have to do as much running around. You could just like go from the main EthDenver event to a side event of your choice and back. So trying to make it intimate, all in one space, less chaotic. Also, the number of days of content is also less compared to last year. It's from Wednesday to Friday, which is the main event, and over the weekend is the hackathon. So it's going to be, we have to choose the best of the best in terms of speakers this year.
So can you give us some alpha? Any speakers that you're ready to talk about at all?
Not yet. I mean, besides the one that EthDenver has already posted about, we are actually in the tail end of wave one. So wave one of applications closed on October 31st. And by November 15th, all of them will hear back, whether they are accepted, waitlisted, rejected. So we are in the process, and there are some really exciting names. So I'll save the alpha for next time.
Okay, all right.
I also mentioned the second wave has already started. So if you missed out on wave one, there's still time. Apply, lots of more opportunities.
I have to get my media pass in for that. And also, if you're looking for moderators for panels, we're available. For sure. Like that, especially if it's related to Farcaster, if it makes sense. So happy to help out there. And we always try to do our little side event, but we do it on Saturday morning so we don't interfere. There we go. And we're excited to bring that back. So if you all are going to be at EthDenver and you are a regular for this show or you're a hyper subholder, look for that event info soon, fairly soon. We'll get it going, but we'll probably do our same karaoke. We do a karaoke brunch.
Really? Live streamed?
Not live streamed. We would not do that to people, except for Debbie. Debbie's the only one, and Tim TLDR, are the only two people who should be live streamed. Their karaoke should be live streamed. The rest of us should not be live streamed. But it's really fun.
Yeah,
we don't want to do. We want you to enjoy it and not feel the pressure.
Exactly.
It's not necessary, but it's really fun, and it was from some folks who are normally in our chat, especially when we first did this a couple of years ago. It was by their request. They're like, okay, well, fine, karaoke we can do in the morning. So we did.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. What else should people know about ETH Denver for this year? Like, tell us a little bit about anything else we should know about the venue. I know there was some upgrades done or renovation done.
It's a new venue, completely different venue. But there are 3 different kind of like subsections of venues. One which will be all ETH Denver, as I mentioned. One that's going to be focused on potentially, sponsored content, and then one that's community events, which is what we're trying to bring in everyone all in one place and create this like big umbrella of exciting content. So that's going to be fun. And then on the speaker application front, we receive over like somewhere around 2,000 plus applications every year.
That's crazy. Wow.
Wild. And from everywhere, all over the world. I've already seen applications from Southeast Asia, South America, of course, US and Europe. So it's exciting. It really brings together people from all over the world. But unfortunately, we are limited in how many people we can have speak. And especially this year, we're reducing the number of content days to 3 days. So there's around like 10 to 15% acceptance rate.
Wow.
It's really,
that's still a lot. I mean, that's still significant for that many applicants. So
it's
still a lot.
It's a big event. But that's a lot of work that we are going through.
A lot of work.
But it also goes through an expert review where we have experts across infra, DeFi, consumer apps, like all of these experts that are coming together and reviewing different tracks and making sure we get, not just the who's who of crypto, but also the rising stars and, new folks who have exciting ideas and probably haven't had the stage to present them. And ETH Denver is all about community and bringing, really smart folks together and have a conversation around all things crypto.
I love it. I love it. I love seeing that mix up, and I'm dying to see. I really hope you put the 9-year-old on a stage because I want to see that. I'm just like, that's really interesting. I'd love to see what they have to say. And in terms of like, if somebody wants to do, you mentioned like bringing in community events or community activations in-house, who should they reach out to if they have questions about that or may want to bring something to the table?
Yeah, Meltem's are kind of point of contact, but I'm happy to be, the first kind of touch point and pass that along. So
Great.
Definitely, like I said, my DMs are open. Reach out to me. Happy to connect you to the right folks if I'm not the right person. And if you want to speak, apply, message me, DM me. We'll take it from there.
Amazing. Adrienne, what did I forget?
ETH Denver has a new date this year, I think. Is it like a week earlier than it usually is?
I did not notice that. Yeah, it is February 17th to 21st.
Do you want to explain why you noticed it, Adrienne?
It's a very, very niche, but people in New York have school break, President's Week. So that is my annual family ski trip. I usually have my family ski trip, and then I come to ETH Denver the week after. And now I have a conflict, so it's a me thing.
Breckenridge. You can have your family ski trip right after ETH Denver. That's what people do.
No, it's the same.
It's the same week.
But I got to figure that out. So just if anyone's listening, the dates are a little earlier. Yeah. No, I think this is great. You'll come back on. You have to come back on as we get closer to keep us updated.
I'll have a lot more exciting names to share once we get closer, but we are at the beginning. And
I'd love to see once you have like the tracks or the summits or whatever you're calling them. I'd love to see that too, once that's all broken down and talk about like that aspect. So I think that's a smart way to approach this for sure.
I mean, crypto's gotten big now. Even if we don't want to admit it, it's so big, it's huge, and there are corners of crypto that none of us can reach. And so, yeah, I think more specific content is going to be valuable.
I remember that from last year, walking around ETH Denver and going, I don't know half these projects, and they looked massive. It wasn't like, oh, this small little thing in the corner. It was like, they have this incredibly, massive booth, and I didn't know them. And it was actually a good thing. Like, they were just areas that I don't see in my usual travels. So it was a really good way to learn about new projects and things that are happening other areas of crypto that we just don't see every day. So it was a lot of fun. And the base booth was amazing. So it was so good last year. Yeah. The arcade, you could go and play. It was so cool. And the Moshi Cam auras were during that one. So it was really fun. That was a fun one. All right. Anything else before we let you go that we
No, I think we covered most of it. Thanks so much for having me. Like I said, Wave 2 applications are open. The sooner you apply, the better, because it's gonna get pretty chaotic towards the end. And yeah, my DMs are open. Love to connect.
And the links to those applications, everything will be in our show notes. So look for those if you are interested in applying to speak. We'd love to see some Farcaster folks on stages. So I'll be looking for them. So yeah, we always try to go to those ones when we see folks we know who are going to be speaking, and give some support from the crowd. All right. Amazing. Thanks so much, Manasi. Okay. It's been great to have you here. We'll see you later. Bye. Bye. So fun.
EthDenver is just such a highlight for us. We love EthDenver.
I do.
So
I really do.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it for this year. And I think it's going to I'm really looking forward to seeing how they change up the content part of it. Because I think sometimes it's just been a little chaotic. It's not that it's been bad. It's just been a little chaotic. So I love the idea of having it more focused around different topics. I think that's going to be a lot more effective. So very cool. All right. We've had a couple funny things happening too. Wait, actually, let me do this before I get to funny thing. This from Linda. So before ETH Denver is DevConnect. DevConnect is happening next week. Actually, or the end of this week, really. A lot of folks are already there or heading there, or they've been in Patagonia, or they're in the area.
Who are you talking about?
Lamone. And actually Trussell Estate from Bankless. He's over there climbing and stuff. So this from Linda. Anyone attending DevConnect available Tuesday 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. to volunteer at the Farcaster booth to help onboard new users and answer questions. We have all other DevConnect shifts covered Monday to Saturday, thanks to our amazing volunteers, Sahil on Crypto When Moon, Anat Crypto, Hell No, Garrett, Adrienne, and Tomu. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure if you're going to DevConnect, you go check out the booth. This from Cameron was really funny. So if you're not following along, Gerard Butler has appeared in the DMs of many of us on Farcaster.
Have you gotten a Gerard Butler DM?
I have. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I
Why?
have.
Why is it Gerard Butler?
I don't know. It's a mystery. Like, why that person of all people? Like, it makes no sense whatsoever. It's so random. It's so random.
And also, why hasn't Gerard DM'd me?
I don't know. You're not special.
I feel like such a loser.
So,
it's not Gerald. Sorry, Gerald Butler.
Gerald Butler. Oh, it's
sorry.
Gerald. Oh, sorry, Gerald. Yes.
Oh, maybe it's Gerard doing the DMs. His
it is.
Evil twin.
It's
not. It is his. His
brother. But that is the picture that's being used. Is Gerard Butler.
Gerald.
Gerald. Yeah.
Gerald.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
funny.
Thank
you for the fact checking.
So funny. So this has been going on and on, back and forth, and it's just really, really funny. And we don't know why people are doing these things, but they are. So if you happen to see Gerald Butler or Gerard in your DMs, just, tread lightly. It's not him. This from Yes to Crypto. After a long, thorough trial of farming Warpcast Rewards leaderboard further quantities of prayer, meditation, and looking at no more rewards leaderboard, I have decided to change careers and become a mini app developer on Farcaster. This was a quote cast of the one he did when a little while ago, where it said, after a long thought out deliberation, vast quantities of prayer, meditation, and looking at the Warpcast rewards leaderboard, I have decided to change careers and become a journalist. Farcaster.
That was when the journalists all got onboarded?
When the journalists were at the top of the leaderboard. Yep. So
I have decided to become
I've
decided to become a very successful trader.
There you go. That's one way to do it.
I've decided. I spent this weekend thinking about my next
decided
steps.
That was going to be it? All right.
Yeah, successful trader, to be clear.
Yeah, well, of course. We wouldn't want you to be a unsuccessful trader. All right, just getting my next group of links open, because yeah, there's a lot. It's a Monday.
Are we still on Farcaster news? We're not moving to CastOut yet, are we? I realize
we're moving to we're moving into some building stuff.
Good.
Building cool things. So we're going to talk about that stuff. So we're still in Farcaster newsland, technically. Protocol land, I should say. And let me go to this one from your Berserker. TLDR, new empires overnight. Azora creator empire, an intriguing forged empire token, one of two. Others on the other side of Tech Rocks. And Tech Rocks ARB creator tipping token. Not gonna lie, I do really love waking up and swinging by the Empire Builder mini app or site to see what empires were deployed while I was sleeping. And the reason I'm highlighting this is because we had mentioned that it would be cool if you could use Empire Builder for other tokens like Zora tokens. And it looks like that is now an option. So very cool to see. So you can do a Zora creator empire as well, which is a great feature. And it's going to be very helpful. So there you go. If you haven't checked out Empire Builder, you really should. If you have a token, it's very useful. Or if you're holding tokens, you might be qualifying for some airdrops and things, and you may not even realize it. So there you go. This from Max Biddle.eth. My experience clanking loop on Farcaster. TLDR, massive thank you to Linda, DWR, and Dish for the white glove treatment. And this was for the loop token. What started as a 402 experiment became the Loops NFT mint, taking over the feed last weekend. Then DWR casted inviting builders planning to clank to his DMs. I shared my goal, fund a true 402 enabled marketplace through a token launch. Within hours, Linda coordinated a call, walked me through everything, and answered every question. She made killer suggestions for the loop direction. Next, group chat with Linda, DWR, and Dish, full coordination mode. Launch day, Dish walked me through split vault setup, airdrop vesting, and optimal Clanker world configuration. Even reminded me to grab the deck screener listing before someone else did. Post-launch, the Farcaster team tied it all together with a mini app feature and Clanker Spotlight. So this was the first, I think this is the first Clanker Spotlight. It was either the first or second. Special shout out to Garrett as well for being a friend and mentor through this Clank MFR. So very cool to see this kind of switch up to more focusing on these larger launches, the ones that have like a little bit more going on, and giving them a bit of a boost in the launch process. So very cool to see. And this from Say Angel, I am not going to read all this, but I'm just going to suggest that if you are building mini apps, you go take a look at this. This is from Say Angel. At the end of yesterday's stream, he did a stream with Linda. Linda asked me what advice I'd give to other mini app builders. I gave a few mini app specific tips, but here are a few more on how I approach my building on FC. And really has some great thoughts here that I'd highly recommend taking a look at. By the way, I love the keep experimenting and shipping. That's a big part of it, is like just try things. And TLDR, similar types of advice, a little bit more succinct. He was also chatting with Linda about app coins and building Bracky. And he said, my top advice to AppCoin builders, make your token enable a product. 2, have a big, clear vision for your product. 3, be honest with holders. That product is more important than price. So I think that's great for if you want to learn more. I would go to the last 5 minutes of the video with Linda and take a look at that. But these are both great builders that you really should take a look at if you are building a mini app with a token on Farcaster. And speaking of tokens, Adrienne, we launched a paragraph token. We didn't tell you we were going to do that because we didn't know we were going to do that. I didn't know.
And y'all are, and everyone is smart.
They're very smart. They're very smart. We got a lot of messages like, "Hey, did you guys really do this?" And we're like, "Yes, we really did that." I should have probably said beforehand, but I did put something out as soon as I launched it, because I was going just to write our regular paragraph post for the week. And I was like, oh, the launch thing's there. And there was a notification. I was like, okay, I'll just go ahead and do that. And then, yeah, some folks weren't sure if this was a real thing, but it is. So that was this one, by the way, just so you know. In terms of what we're doing with this, we don't know. We're just using it as part of what we're doing with Paragraph. If you want to support via that vehicle, we'd love that. Thank you. We appreciate it. We don't have enough.
A lot about not doing like a GM Farcaster token for our network, like for everything we do, except now with tokens kind of, content coins on Base App and Clanker with this, like, and everything becoming kind of tokens on everything. We also want to just use the things we're using, use the things we're talking about, and be early adopters and experiment. So we're starting to, with various Clankers for projects, like for CastOut, with our paragraph newsletter, we're going to start doing it, but I'm with no just plan for
all the caveats.
Yes.
Yeah. All the caveats
with what that means.
Yeah. NFA, DYOR, we don't exactly know how we're going to use this token, what we're going to do with it, etc. Besides, it exists as a support mechanism if you feel the desire to collect our paragraph posts, etc. I think this will be tied into that now.
There's probably and there's probably better ways to, like, if you want to do direct support of GM Farcaster, what we're doing, there's probably better ways to do it. Except if you want to just kind of play and experiment along with us, that's what that is. And I gave feedback to Paragraph because we also love Paragraph.
Yeah.
We like Colin and Reed and we like what they're doing. I did give them feedback in terms of, like, when people see this skepticism of, like, wait, is this yours? Right? Because it's a claim. It doesn't automatically, you can, and you don't even need to do airdrops when you set it up.
So no, you don't. Yeah, it was an option, and it I forgot to pull the picture with the one with the image from the email. It was an option you could just send it. It had it built right in for your subscribers already if they had a wallet attached. I found that out after the fact. As well as people who had purchased NFTs in the past, had collected NFTs of the paragraph, or had collected like individual posts. So it pulls those in automatically. And then you could add one ERC20. So I just chose the CastOut one. I went back and forth, like, should I do CastOut? Should I do Buff? But I feel like CastOut, just because it's a longer time horizon on that one, I did that one. So that was, and it only sent it out to like the top 200 or something like that. So you may have gotten a claim. So go check this out. If you click on this support button, let me pull that back up. If you click on the support button, it will lead you to an opportunity to see if you qualify for any claims. So you can click on the check your rewards, and that will show you if you put in your address or ENS name, and it will check to see if you qualify for anything. And I would check this periodically, by the way, because there are going to be new ones that are dropped that you might, if you've been supporting different creators on Paragraph for a while, there might be new ones that pop up. Like, I haven't done anything with my personal Paragraph or anything like that yet. I'm sure there's others who haven't done anything yet that you might qualify for something there for supporting them in the past. So just be aware of that. Yeah, it was a little, it's a couple steps and things like that. And it's a little bit unclear on some of these things, but it's new.
I think they may also be trying to make the Farcaster wallet lookup direct. Like if you're coming from Farcaster, so you don't have to enter the address. So
that would be great. Yeah.
For the claims.
That would be helpful. And this is from Colin talking about this. We're beginning to roll out our writer coins on Paragraph, a new way to reward great writing and share in the upside. One thing we're particularly excited about, rewards. With one tap, airdrop your Farcaster followers, newsletter subscribers, and anyone that's supported you in the past. Bankless did a feature on us today and summarized it as well. So you can take a look at that as well to look through. And I think this one was written by WMP, who does some great writing. So that might be helpful as well. And then, oops. Oh, I just deleted that. So if you got an email and you were like, is this real? Did GM Farcaster just send me an airdrop? If it's from Paragraph, yes, it is, but double check links. I would recommend using the mini app instead to check, just in case, because we don't know if somebody's been duplicating those emails yet. If you got it, yesterday, right after I did the airdrop, it's legit, but who knows, today could lead to anything. So just be careful out there. All right. Moving on, we had this drop happen, which was Regent, happened also over the past couple days. And they then went on, which I thought this was interesting. They did a base ecosystem token diversification. With an AI and Farcaster focus, we have vaulted the following base tokens in the Regent multisig. We are currently talking with, or would aim to partner in the future with everyone on this list, which I thought this was kind of cool. They shared exactly what they put in their vault. Clanker, which I think they spelled wrong. Eliza OS, Virtuals, Eigenlayer, Sky, Better, Faye, Banker, Propaganda, Send, Recall, Arrow, Veil, Giza, QR, Noise, and Faye. So that was interesting. So interesting variety of what I would call project tokens or app tokens that are doing some cool things in the Farcaster ecosystem. So great to see that. This from Derek, responding to A-Town. So A-Town was talking about lawyers being so expensive. Yeah, sorry about that. Just spent like 1 ETH getting Tri-Emerge incorporated in Wyoming and getting all of our shareholder and board agreements aligned before base batches. My runway. Yeah, your runway disappears fast that way. Dear founders, there are better ways. Clerky, Dula, Otoko, and Stripe. Also, if you're going to raise venture money, a Delaware C Corp will be preferred by many, with a separate LLC or foundation for tokens. So the reason I'm sharing this is there was a lot of really good info in the thread as well from different folks about some of these options. So if this is something you're looking into, go check this out because it might be helpful to you. And then we had this, which is very cute. Tatiana, I think, was in our chat the other day and mentioned this, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I meant to check that out. It's really cute. It's a little shark, so you can mint your own shark. Mine was very cute. I like it's 37 in the back and the new arch on the front. So very cute. So thank you for that, Tatiana. And she was a former CastOut player, as a matter of fact. So there you go. All right. I got to open up my last group of links. One group left, and we will talk about CastOut. It's been an interesting.
Who wants to guess what the last topic will be?
The last topic will be CastOut.
No, you said your last topic before CastOut.
I don't think you'll know. I don't know if you even know.
Is it? I do. Well, first of all, I do not know for sure. I can guess.
I don't think you do.
As if I'm. Oh.
I don't know if you do. I mean, you might now. Do you know now?
I was thinking no, yes, I do, but I just
meant
assumed
to
you were
show
doing
this
FID pumps.
Friday.
You're not talking FID punks? We're not doing FID punks?
I didn't even
punks?
pull any FID punks. I don't even think we pulled
Oh.
FID punks, FID punks.
Okay.
I forgot.
Well,
I forgot
luckily
to pull our
we're on
FID
every day
punks.
this
So
week.
what
Okay.
I was pulling, yeah,
Ooh.
we'll grab those later.
Okay, I see what you're
So what
pulling.
I was grabbing was this. We didn't get a chance to talk about this. The Farcaster Lore mini app was trending. It was trending in the mini app. It went viral for a little minute there. It's been around for a while, but all of a sudden, Anushka had asked about, she said something about being mentioned, and then you had given her this link, and then she started posting about it. She said, 6 of my bangers have been mentioned on GM Farcaster. Check out this mini app to see if any of your casts have been mentioned. That's the automatic share thing. It'll share with anybody. And then we had a few other folks dropping in notes about their bangers. So there you go. 24 of my bangers have been mentioned. So that was from Kristen. And then saying, oh, this is so well done. I loved seeing, here's the leaderboard of all leaderboards. I love this. Don't let numbers define you. Adrienne. Also, Adrienne, here's the leaderboard of all leaderboards. This is from Burr. I actually feel like number 30 is amazing here. Very proud. Also, thank you, Nanshra, for having me on this amazing show. You're welcome. Thank you for being a guest co-host a couple times. So if you have not tried the Lore app yet, you really should. And also, JC, yes, I just mentioned you one more. So there you go. You have 6 more to go. So there you go. We're getting you a little bit closer. And this was from Alina Ferry. Oh my God, we're twinning again, Peachy and Kristen, this time on the GM Farcaster leaderboard. Personal story, when I first joined FC, I searched for a news outlet right away in my attempt to figure out what the hell was going on here. Was extremely lucky to find GM Farcaster within my first few days, and we've been friends ever since. Adrienne and Prof, thank you for tagging us on there. We love you. So yeah, if you have not checked this out yet, go check it out. It's really fun. You can click on this and see if you've been mentioned. Also, you can look by date, which is pretty cool. So if you want to see like what was happening on this date, you can check it out. So lots of very cool things to look at. I have mentioned 462 times.
Yeah, ours shouldn't count. We tend to
shouldn't count.
And Dan and Varun, I think, are probably the other top ones.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they definitely are.
Horsefax is up there.
Horsefax. Let me see if I can pull up the leaderboard. I don't know why it's not showing me. Let me get back to all casts. There it is. Here's the leaderboard. Let me get that up there and then I'll show it. Yeah. So here's the leaderboard. It's exactly what you would expect. It's DWR, me, V, Adrienne, Horsefax, Ted, Linda, and then it starts to get broader. Then we get Brad Q in there at number 8. Like, he's been working hard, man.
Yeah.
He's been working hard for that leaderboard. It's interesting to think about eras within this.
Totally. Yeah.
Like, you can see some of these folks we have not mentioned in a while. And
yeah, but Proxy and Woj hanging in there.
15 and 16. Like Chris Corella, Beta Shop. I mean, like, there's some folks who are way up on the leaderboard.
Wow.
Who we haven't mentioned them in quite a bit. So
Ghost Links and Outcaster days.
Yeah. We used to mention him every week. So there's it's funny to like think about
Magic
that
Eden,
aspect.
the Me on Base days.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of Estes. Like she's at the, there's a lot of folks who are pretty high
I think
up there.
Lamone was upset he wasn't in the top 100, and I said, Super Anon's on there. I pretty much said, like, you're almost guaranteed a spot if you run Farcon.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll make it into the top 100 eventually. He's bound to. Yeah. He's bound to. So anyways, it's kind of fun. Go take a peek and check that out. All right. Let me see. Let me make sure I got a few things ready here. Ooh, where did that go? Oh, shoot. I had something else ready and I just don't see it now. I may have lost it. Where did you go? I think I closed it. All right. I had my challenge information ready and it's gone. So I have to redo that. But let me mention, so we're going to shift gears to CastOut now. So that is it for our regular stuff. And let me throw this up here while I do some things in the background. I got to switch hats is what it comes down to. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, our title sponsors, Clanker, and that's why this is Return to Meme Coin Island, Clank Clank. Splits, who we love, Purple, who has been so supportive of us forever, and Aptos. And we thank you all to our sponsors. We really appreciate you. We also, I should have changed my my background too. Hold on. We're going to change all the things in between here and make sure we're ready for this. We also have some fun things happening with minted merch, and I want to show Tracy It's post is so darn cute. Izzy and I, repping my team in style, grabbed the outstanding CastOut gear from Minted Merch, and it's so worth it. Big shout out to Nash Prof for keeping the chaos classy. Let's LFG, better Clanker, the team with the best vibes. And look at Izzy with the bandana on. I love it. I just love it. So you look great. Doesn't she look great? Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks great in this. Like, this really works for her. She's looking good. Looking good, Tracy. So love it. Thank you for being such a great model. If you're not following along, go check out the mini app. This is the larger version, but the mini app within Farcaster, and you can follow along with all the things that have been happening. So on Friday, we announced that we had a tie. We ended up having a tiebreaker. So the the tribe voted off was unfortunately our friends Splits out. I mean, it's gonna hurt no matter who it is at this point. So we thank you guys so much for playing. You've been great players in this game. And this was a try. It was a tie between Lickety Splits and Splitsow, and Splitsow are the ones who were voted off. We now have 4 left. Aptos 1, Aptos 2, the network, Lickety Splits, and the better Clanker tribe. So 4 left. So what is a perfect challenge for having 4 left, but Ponder? Ponder, of course. Of course. So I'm going to drop the specifics in just a moment into the CastOut channel, and I'll also drop it into all the different islands. But what we're going to be doing is each of the remaining tribes will be creating a Ponder poll. They may not seed this poll themselves, and they may not use any amplifying mini apps like amps and influence and things like that, please. And thank you.
You're saying you cannot pay to have an advantage.
That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to say that. Yes. We're trying to get it to the point where you can't buy the game. What we want is your creativity in creating the poll to be the defining factor. We are going to seed all of these polls and add a little boost ourselves, so you don't have to. And they'll be featured as well. So the Ponder team has said they'll feature them as well. You're going to set it for 12 hours, and you can influence who wins this particular challenge. So you'll be able to participate in the Ponder challenges. Again, they'll have a little bit of extra meat on the bone. So if you're playing around with Ponder, if you win, you do end up winning a little bit of whatever you bet. There's a percentage you have to bet, like you use your prediction, either 50 cents, $1, whatever, and then you can earn back on that if you are correct. So we'll see what they come up with. They're going to be coming up with their Ponder polls between now and 11 p.m. Eastern. So you have the next, I don't know, what is that, 10-ish hours or so, 10 and a half. to come up with your idea and post it for a 12-hour ponder poll, and we'll have the winners at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then they will vote out one more tribe who does not win immunity. So we're getting down to it. There's only 4 left. We'll be down to our final couple of tribes after tomorrow. And that'll be it. The objective is to win. The objective is to have the most folks participate in your ponder poll. So I'm going to look at that after the 12 hours, and whoever has the most engagement on the poll, in other words, most number of people participating, will be the winners of the immunity. So there you go. Adrienne, anything else I missed for this one? Both. It can be paid or unpaid votes. Either one will count. So there we go. Excited to see. I like this challenge. I think it can be really fun. I'm curious to see what people think will get the most attention in terms of, what people are willing to dive into there. And so we'll see. Yeah. So it'll be a lot of fun. Yes, both will be counted. Both the paid and unpaid votes will be counted. So total number of those who participate in the poll will be the one. All right.
Ponders are fun. I always like this challenge because it's like the tribes have to discuss, it's like the discussion of what can we do that is most likely to go viral is always a fun conversation. Because if you talk to anyone who's ever gone viral, they're like, couldn't have predicted it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really hard to plan,
yeah,
or to know what takes off. Really hard.
So it is tricky. Fun. You have to see how if you can get into the zeitgeist of what's happening on Farcaster. And that's really what's going to pull the attention. Are you going to give something that people are talking about is going to be I think the best ones. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Because people following CastOut will participate. We'll vote in all the polls. It'll be fun. But if you can somehow get someone, I don't know, like a Dan to recast or to participate, then it,
If you get his attention. So it'll just be about Eames chairs. That's it. Something aesthetic. Something aesthetic. Which of these things is most aesthetic? No.
Warplets are hot right now.
Warplets are hot.
Maybe saturated. You never know.
Lots of hot topics. Lots of hot topics. So we'll see how this goes. I'm excited to see what they come up with, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And that's it. And then tomorrow we'll have a CastOut show at noon Eastern. We'll announce who won the challenge. We'll recap the challenge. We'll announce the vote and announce the next challenge, which will begin shortly after that. So
fun.
So fun. Anything else,
maybe just one announcement to players that have already been deaded and cast out and who thinks they can be as mean as they want.
Don't do that.
You can always be as mean as you want. Free, we live in a free society. We are adults with agency and free will. So everyone is free to be mean. I would encourage everybody to not be mean. Because game or not, it carries with you and people have feelings. So
it also,
whether you're in or not, people know who you are.
The other issue for us personally is running this is the more tension that develops between the players or the more people who don't have a good experience is less likely that we will run this again. So try and keep it fun. We want it to be a fun experience that highlights all the fun things that are happening on Farcaster and keep it positive and good vibes. That's what we're going for. So would appreciate that from all of the players, either those who have been who are no longer in the game and those who are still in the game. So appreciate it. All right. Thank you for that note. I missed that comment in the chat.
Love you all.
We do love you all. We do love you very much. And I really do appreciate the players who are playing because it does take time, and I appreciate them putting the effort in. And so love y'all. And we have been sending out, by the way, I did send out to the players who've already been eliminated, did send out some buff token your way. And I had done a burn right before that. So just wanted to let y'all know. And I am posting those things in our Empire. So you can see that kind of stuff in the Empire as well. All right. Anything else, Adrienne, before we call it?
Do you have a delivery?
No, I don't. I don't. It's just, who knows? Heard a noise, has to go bark at it. That's the way this goes. You know what I mean?
All right.
All right, everybody. With that, it's been fun. Thank you so much. Is that the QR for signing up to Farcaster?
Yes.
Okay.
That's our QR. So yes, if you're watching us not on Farcaster, you're not on Farcaster yet, we do Farcaster news. And if you'd like to join Farcaster, there's an invite code that you can join.
And with that invite, doesn't that, I was going to say, in that invite code get you a discount, but actually right now, doesn't even matter. It's no fee November.
It gives you 20% off of 0 fees.
Yeah. It's 20% off of 0. It doesn't get better than this. All right. And with that, dog's gonna dog. Exactly. The dog's just, by the way, I have a dog that's exactly the same breed as Bratwurst. So when you hear that barking that sounds like a German Shepherd, it's a tiny little 10-pound dachshund. Yeah. All right. And with that, everybody, it's been a pleasure. We will see you tomorrow at noon Eastern for our CastOut update. We'll be back on Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern for our regular GM Farcaster with Deployer from Banker. So that's going to be fun. Oh, wait. Are we doing a later show with him instead? I forget now. I think we're doing later. I'm going to take that back. I'm going to run it back. I can't remember, but I think we're doing a later show because he's on West Coast. So I think we're doing a later show. I think we're doing him right before the CastOut.
Deployer is going to be 8:30 Pacific, 11:30
Pacific, so 11:30 Eastern.
Yeah. So news in the morning, 8:30 Eastern. A few hours later, interview with Deployer, CastOut show.
And CastOut. Yeah. So more, just follow along in the GM Farcaster channel on Farcaster for all the schedule updates. And until then, everybody, we'll see you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us for this episode of GM Farcaster. And thank you to all our partners and HyperSub supporters bringing this episode to you. Follow the GM Farcaster channel for all the latest updates and add our mini app on Farcaster and the base app. Until next time, bye-bye.